Fucking why I mixed that. Anyway, hello film fans of YouTube or SoundCloud or Patreon, whatever fine platform you are listening on today. Welcome
You're
to
all of those?
Yeah, I'm on all those. I mean, to be fair, I don't put much on SoundCloud, and Patreon just put up for the lows, but yeah, that's on record now. But yes, whatever platform you're listening on.
Throwing straws?
Wait, what?
Are we just throwing straws and see who picks them up? SoundCloud. Fucking YouTube.
Hey,
Are you
I always
on Spotify next?
Oh no, that's too much effort. Hey, I know other film YouTubers that have podcasts that do SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. I can't be asked for that. RSS feeds are just too annoying. Anyway, we're gonna. God damn it!
Sorry to ruin your intro.
Why?
Damn.
Why did I introduce you? Anyway, welcome to the Spikehead Podcast. I am Josh, your Movie Apprentice, and this is the film podcast where I talk about a lot of films with a guest because I don't want to annoy my real life friends. However, contradictory to that, as you can see, I have a real life friend here with me. All you need to know about her is we once argued over which Harry Potter film was the worst. This is Alix. Alix, say hello, even though I feel like you probably said hello.
Hello. Hi, the internet world people. What's up?
Oh my god. Okay, this is...
You love me and you know it.
I know, but fucking hell. D&D is going to be so entertaining on Sunday. I can see you trying to troll me constantly. Yeah. Anyway.
Me troll you? Never. I would never.
Oh no, definitely not. Anyway, everybody.
Never.
Right. Okay, so on today's cast, the world is still garbage, and I was like, just let's do a film review for once. And so I let Alix pick the film today, and what she showed me this evening was probably 17, 18-year-old me's wet dream, I'm not gonna lie. But before we get into that, some basic filler beginning bullshit, because a lot of stuff has happened over the last couple of weeks in the film and media world. First of all, if you, for some reason, a frequent watcher of this show, if you are, thank you, but also what you're doing with your life. Anyway.
Yeah, no, like seriously, this is the best you could do? Like, this is what you decided to watch? Really?
But cheers for the minutes. We love you and we appreciate you. So, 2 weeks ago, me and Brett Murphy pitched our ideas for the Community movie, and during that cast, you may have heard that they did a little charity script read of the episode where they read Pierce's will. That happened on Monday, and they raised, it was $118,000, and it was one hell of a show. It was hilarious to watch. Alix, are you a fan of Community?
I am. I love Community. I did not watch the table read though.
Oh.
I was picking my D&D character.
No.
You were there.
I was, but the table read was right before that. Literally, the table read happened, and then we got into the Discord chat to pick the character. But it was great. You know the episode I'm talking about, Pierce's will, and how he gets them all. I can
that was a good episode. Yeah.
Yeah. They had, obviously, they didn't have the scientist guy back for it. But they had Pedro Pascal, like Oberyn Martell in The Mandalorian, play that character. And the best part of this whole stream was he's reading the script and he gets to the sperm line and he just burst out laughing. Once we're done with this, if you want to go on YouTube, just watch it for that scene alone, because he just can't keep a straight face. Every time he gets to the sperm line, he just dies. And it's just funny.
I mean, could you keep a straight face? Like, no. I couldn't.
But they asked him, have you read the script before this table read? He's like, yes, I have. Gets to that line, he's just like, this is the first time I'm reading this. He's just been given the script, and he's just reading it, he just suddenly sees, here's a cylinder of my sperm, and it's great. And the Q&A stuff was banter as well. Naturally, they avoided talking about the movie. I think they said, raise your hand if you want the movie, and I think all the ladies put their hands up, and Ken Jeong and Abed put their hands up. But Joel and Donald Glover didn't put their hands up, or Jim Rash, surprisingly enough. But My favorite part of the Q&A session was they asked, okay, tell us, who was the ass crack bandit? And Alison Brie, who plays Annie, she's like, everyone sat down, but she's like laid on the floor on this little Zoom call, and you just see her pull this face and just roll off camera, like trying to be all sly about it. Honestly, watch the replays of it if you have like an hour to kill, because it is glorious to watch. But big well done to them. I would get the movie. I don't know, but if you're interested in hearing what me and Brett thought the movie should be, then go see our previous podcast. That was a lot of fun. Other recent news in the last couple of days, actually, the Snyder Cut is happening. So it would have been nice to have Robin here because he would have had a lot to say about that.
I know. I'm like the worst guest to have on this podcast right now because I know nothing about it. Rob told me about it yesterday, and I was like, ooh, what does
Oh,
that mean?
a thing. Yeah. Now, basically, for context, if you don't know, is basically Justice League was filmed, but Zack Snyder had to drop out halfway through because someone in his family died. So, Joss
Wasn't it
Whedon,
his kid?
yeah, it was his kid, and so Joss Whedon had to take over, and the tone of Justice League was jarbled. Honestly, I don't remember hating the movie. I remember it just meh. I thought it was a meh film, but for years fans
To
have
be
been
real,
like, Snyder Cut, give us the
all of
Snyder
his
Cut.
films, all of Snyder's films are meh. I'm gonna throw it out there. They're all meh. They're
No,
not good.
he directed Watchmen, didn't he? Watchmen was really good. I will defend Watchmen until I die. Thank you very much.
Okay, Watchmen was okay, but like, I feel
Like,
like you watch it once and you're done. Like, you don't need to watch it again.
I know I've watched Watchmen 5 times. For me, the Watchmen comics the best, but I feel like the film did the ending better. I liked the whole Rorschach's casting was perfect in it. I've still not watched the HBO show of Watchmen. I've still not watched that. I need to get around to that. Same as Chernobyl. There's a lot of
Neither
shows
have
I
I.
need to watch. But one my opinion on this Zack Snyder cut thing is it just opens the door for a lot of possibilities. You like Suicide Squad, didn't you? I can't remember if you did or not, but I remember we talked about it like when it came out.
I mean, okay, so I saw it when it came out with friends, and I loved it when it came out. I saw it a second time, and I realized there is no storyline to this
Yeah,
movie
that
at all. There's no storyline. You can start watching this movie at any point in the film, and you will be okay because you have not missed anything.
yeah, that was exactly my thought process watching it as well. But I remember when it was done, it was basically Guardians of the Galaxy came out and they changed the tone. Like, remember trailer one, Suicide Squad was like this really dark trailer, and then suddenly they had this wacky Bohemian Rhapsody trailer. And David Ayer, the director of that, tweeted some stuff out in the last couple of weeks about stuff that was planned and filmed. And so a subtle hashtag has started going, release the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, because apparently, according to some bits, apparently in the original Suicide Squad, Diablo was not supposed to die, which I was gutted when he died in the film, to be honest, because he was one of the characters that were done perfectly. And apparently Deadshot and Harley Boink, which they always do in the comics anyway, so I don't know why they cut that out.
I mean,
But
they boinked in the like cartoon too, and that was
yeah,
like kind of one of the best parts.
they they
Like,
they boink in the Assault on Arkham, they boink in the comics. Like, it's just a
Assault on Arkham, fucking clutch. I loved that movie.
oh, I remember Nate showing me that film. He's just like, I'm gonna show you this Batman film. It's not a Batman film. It's about the Suicide Squad. And I'm like, what's Suicide Squad? It's like, well, it's like bad guys. I'm like, oh, all right, I'll give it a watch. And I absolutely adored that film. So I was so hyped when the film was coming
Same.
out. I bought a bunch of Suicide Squad comics and I read a bunch, got to know all these characters like Diablo and that. So when the film came out, I enjoyed it the first time because Viola Davis was perfect as Waller. Diablo was perfectly done. Even Jai Courtney as Boomerang was decent. And Harley Quinn, yeah, poorly written, but Margot Robbie, perfect actress for Harley Quinn. Though I hate that everyone loved Will Smith in it. Deadshot is a.
I loved Will Smith as Deadshot.
I'm sorry, he is not Deadshot. Deadshot.
I loved it.
Deadshot is a prick. He is a cold-hearted dickhead, and Deadshot in Suicide Squad film
But
is
he's
just Will
not.
Smith. He is.
He has such a soft spot for his daughter. Like, he's not a dick. It's just like a persona he has to play.
I don't know. There's a bit in the comics where he literally kills someone because they want to kill Waller, and he only kills them because it's like if anyone's gonna kill Waller, it's gonna be me. It's one of those things. He's a cunt unless it comes to his daughter. But in this one, he's dropping one-liners. The only time he ever feels like Deadshot from the comics is when they're given the gun and he points it at the security guard and starts psychoanalyzing the situation. It's like, you gave me fake bullets. Like, that bit was Deadshot all over. Then he's like, oh,
Yeah,
go standard, triangle, bitch. It's just like, what? No. But no.
triangle bitch.
So I would love to see an air cut just to see if they kept the darker tone of that first trailer, because the first trailer was so hype, and then they just had that silly trailer, and then the
Also,
tone was just neon there.
if we're doing casting, look, Viola Davis was great, but Waller needed to be a big bitch. Like, they made
Well,
her
David
this
is
big.
curvy.
She needed to be a big bitch. She needed to be a curvy ass hoe. Like,
Viola is curvy. You've seen in How to Get Away with Murder, haven't you?
yeah, but like, I feel like Waller in the cartoons and the comics, she was a hefty lady.
Yeah. I mean, she's skinny in the not New 52, but like the new DC universe. She's skinny in that. But
Of course, they had to make her skinny. She went on a diet, yada yada yada. But still, I feel like I don't know.
to be fair, I wouldn't mind seeing like Octavia Spencer play her or something. That would be interesting because Octavia's quite
Oh
big, but she's
yes,
a
I would have
great
loved
actress.
Octavia Spencer.
Like, because Ma, she was the best part of that, even though it was a terrible movie. It was like my third worst movie last year was Ma, but she was entertaining as hell in it. I would love to see her be this cold-hearted bitch that is Amanda Waller, because so good. But nah. And obviously there's other little hashtags like, oh, shall we do a butthole cut of cats, which is just a running meme at this point. I feel like there's at least have
Oh
April
my
Fools for the lols.
god.
I don't know. But yeah, Snyder Cut. Maybe I'll do a pitch video of what the Snyder Cut should be when it comes close to the time, because I had fun with the community pitches video. And last little bit before we get to our main stuff and you can start going crazy. Um, Tenant released the trailer, the new Christopher Nolan film, literally a couple of hours before we watched this film. And from what I got from the trailer, it was just Inception, but instead of dreams, it's times going backwards. It's really weird, but the cast,
Interesting. I'm intrigued.
like, have you seen the trailer? It's weird. It's got a solid cast though. John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Michael Caine, Kenneth Branagh, Elizabeth
Oh my
Debicki.
god.
There's a lot of people in
Edward
there.
Cullen is in it?
Yeah, he's one of the main characters in the trailer.
God, are
And
they gonna make him sparkle? That CGI sparkle?
hey, I will always stand by. Robert Pattinson is Cedric Diggory for me, and I am actually looking forward to seeing him as Batman. Speaking of which, actually, now we're talking about Robert Pattinson. What was your. Well, did you hear about the controversy that Robert Pattinson's not working out at home and people losing their shit over it?
No, there's a controversy behind it.
Basically, it's like, oh, why are you self isolating? Can you work out for your role as Batman? And he's just like, nah. Like, I was given the
I
impression
think
that it's
he's
good.
just a lazy twat. Like he's like, I don't want to work out. Fuck.
I mean,
CGI them abs. Let's 300 this shit.
it's not like it's going to take him much to lose it anyway. People seem to be given the impression that it's going to come out like a balloon. But it's just like, no, actors, when they lose weight, they do it very quick through intense exercises in like
They
a week.
do.
I feel like he could literally eat a Ben& Jerry's tub for like a month straight and somehow still lose it within a week. Just come out ripped as shit somehow.
Okay. Also, I feel like that's because he's a dude. I look at a pint of Ben and Jerry's and I gain like 15 pounds. It's bullshit.
Yeah, that's a you problem though, mate. That is definitely a you problem.
Wow. Wow, no sympathy. Okay, fuck off. I
Come
see.
on. The day I'm nice to you is the day you're like, shit, our friendship's ending. What's going on here?
Wow. Okay, you know what? Accurate, but that hurted a little. Like,
Like, internal crying right now. Internal crying.
yeah, no, I am sobbing. Like, I'm bringing emo me back. Transitioning to the movie we just watched.
Yep, I'm going to say we've chatted aimless, mindless BS for the last 15 minutes. Time to get serious about this.
Wow, really been 15 minutes?
Yeah, it's been 15 minutes since I pressed the record button, so I'm pretty sure
Time
five.
flies when you hate the people you're with. Damn.
Wow. And yet you agreed to do this, so.
I know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think it was like a serious like judgment lapse, like a lapse in
Well,
judgment. I don't know why I agreed to this.
to be fair, last week you were saying, "Yo, we should like do a podcast where we get drunk and watch horror movies." I'm like, "Well, I do a podcast. You just fancy
Wow,
jumping on
don't
mine."
call me out like that. You propositioned me. No, sir.
Hey! It was equal. There was equal propositioning from both sides there. Equal. But anyway, I let Alex choose the movie. We were going to do The Exorcist, but Alex has seen it, and she's judging me for not seeing it. So I'm like, let's
Yeah,
do
how
something.
are you gonna call yourself a movie review channel? You haven't seen the fucking Exorcist.
There's a few films that
I
I've
saw that
not
shit
seen.
when I was 6.
I mean, I've seen a lot of obscure films, but it seems like I've just not seen some of the big ones because I worry about being disappointed by it. So I will watch The Exorcist eventually. I'll probably end up watching it with you during the movie night with the guys or some shit, but
Yeah, probably.
Is
You're
it-
gonna be so disappointed. It's great, but you're gonna be so disappointed.
yeah, it's because of the hype. It's like when I finally watched The Shining, like I did finally watch it, and I was like, I've seen all the best bits already. It's one of those things. It's like
Shining is a classic, though.
it is a
Like,
classic. I can watch it and appreciate
we
it.
should have watched The Shining. It's a classic. I fucking love that film.
It is a classic. Like I appreciate it. I'm watching it. I can appreciate what he did with it, but it's just because I saw every single scene parodied to death by this point. Nothing scared me in it.
Yeah.
But Doctor Sleep, that was a hell of a fucking sequel.
Oh my
That was
god.
a hell of a sequel.
Doctor Sleep was so good.
I have a friend that hates it because of all the Shining stuff at the end. I'm just like, no, the film earns that. It spends like 2.5 hours hinting at stuff, but it's just like, we're not going to just throw Shining stuff at you. We're going to tell our own story. And it's only in the last half hour that made sense. We're just like, okay, boxes are open. Here you are. Here's all your Shining characters.
It was a total mind fuck. Like I was just like, oh my god. Like it was
Oh.
so good.
It literally, I loved every second of him. I just loved that all the scary bits were actually the antagonist being terrified rather than the protagonist for
Yeah.
once. Like that scene where she goes into her dreams and the hand's trapped in the drawers. Oh, that's
Wait,
a
this is not the movie we're reviewing.
No,
This is not
no.
the movie we're reviewing.
Yeah, we're getting sidetracked. So, away from that sidetrack.
Get your shit
Bas-
together.
Look, we start talking about The Exorcist, and then we start talking about The Shining, and then it just segued into Doctor Sleep.
Okay,
It
so the
happens.
movie we're reviewing today is Repo, the Genetic Opera.
Yes, and Alex picked this. I said, "Oh, let's watch something we've not seen." She's like, "Let's talk about this because it's so underrated, and I've never heard it." So I'm just like, "All right, I'll watch it, see what it is." And as I said earlier, this is definitely a younger eyeliner meets Wet Dreams. Fuck it, I wear eyeliner anyway. It's just like I enjoyed it. Before we get into like the full breakdown, because I've got notes of every scene written down, we'll break down the whole film, but. Generally, what's your opinion on the movie? And I'll give my opinion. So anyone that doesn't want to have the whole fucking thing spoiled can listen to general thoughts and then bugger off. And cheers for staying around for half hour. So, floors with you, Alex.
Also,
Go on.
Who are we kidding? No one's made it this far.
Definitely not.
If I have not
Definitely not.
annoyed your viewers yet to leave, bravo! Like
All
congrats
two of
to
them,
you.
all
Thank
two of
you
them.
for staying.
Like, all two of them.
Like yeah, all 2 of you who are still listening, thank you. Daddy loves you. But
Wow. I'm going to put a counter up every time you make a daddy reference, 'cause I feel like there's going to be a lot of them. There's gonna be
oh, your screen's just gonna be filled. I say daddy way too much, and it started ironically, but now I just can't stop.
I mean, I could be a dick and mention a certain story from last week, but I'm not gonna.
Don't you fucking dare. I will kill you. I will fly across the Atlantic and fucking strangle you with a pair of pantyhose. I
Alex,
swear
we're
to God.
grounded. We can't do that.
I will find a way, motherfucker.
Oh god, this is beautiful. I love it. Top quality content right here. Top quality banter.
Generic Oprah came out in 2008. It's old.
Yeah.
Let's jump on this already. Let's change the subject.
Well, tell me your thoughts. Like, lay the platform out. Go on, give me your love for the film.
It's so good. Like, okay, actually, I can't even say it's so good. If you weren't an emo kid, like, I feel like back in 2008, there were like 2 types of kids. There was either Hollister and Abercrombie, and then Hot Topic. Like those were the only two kids. If you were one of the Hollister and Abercrombie people, you're not gonna like this movie.
Okay,
Like,
and for people that do not have Hot Topics and whatever that other shop is in their respective countries,
you guys didn't have a Hollister and Abercrombie?
nope, we don't have Hot Topic in the UK.
What did your preppy kids wear?
Mostly Paul's Boutique, I think, was what I saw a lot of when I was in school.
Wow.
Vans, Converse, that malarkey. Probably like the scene kids, but
Okay. So there were two groups, the preppy kids and the emo goth kids. If you were the emo goth kid, this was like your wet dream.
there we
Like
go.
everything down from like the set design to the music. It's like this dystopian future that they set up. It does not disappoint.
Is that your overall brief non-spoiler review right there?
Non-spoiler review, yes. Dark, emo, creepy, a little sexy.
Yeah, this film is very horny at times. I'm not gonna lie. No wonder you like this. Like, Jesus, that one
Yeah,
scene. We'll
definitely.
get into it in a bit. But yeah, my thoughts, because I'm actually giving you my proper thoughts on it. I enjoyed it. As you said, it's one of those where if you're into like steampunk, like cybergoth stuff, if you like a bit of Rammstein or Evanescence, like you'll love it. It's basically like watching a 90-minute early 2000s new metal, goth metal, industrial metal music video. That is exactly how it's shot for most of it, and I gotta give props. The costume designs in this are fantastic. The set designs, yeah, you can tell they're cheap designs, but there's just something about them that is There's a charm about these cheap looking sets, and I must say the singing was really good. Do you know if it was done on set or they recorded it in post?
I really don't know. It's probably post. It has to be post.
I mean, yeah, but Les Mis, that was all on stage. I just feel like some of it would. I feel like, yeah, it probably was post for most of it because there are scenes where it's clearly they're not singing on camera because it's all dubbed over. But even so, there's some really good singing in it. And you basically told me, oh, yeah, Paris Hilton and the girl from Spy Kids is in
Yeah.
this.
Paris Hilton, the girl from Spy Kids.
Bunch of people.
I'm sure there were other people in it too.
Yeah, I was looking at the count. There's no real like huge names on there. Like I was looking at some of the names, I'm just like, there's not really huge names on it. But yeah, I just love that Paris Hilton's in this as like this gothic girl, and then she's really sad when she has to be Paris Hilton at the end. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
found that
basically Paris Hilton playing Paris Hilton.
pretty much.
The dumb heiress bimbo with too much surgery. It's Paris Hilton playing Paris Hilton.
Pretty much, yeah. And just to summarize the plot of this movie, it's basically organs are now loaned, and if you don't keep up with your payments, you get your organs repossessed in a very gruesome, violent way. Honestly, I thought Sweeney Todd was an edgy film. No, Jesus Christ! If you can imagine a Tim Burton film, but with like 10 times more edge, that's where this film falls in terms of in terms of its content. So me, I enjoyed it, but it is one of those where you have to like a certain style. There are definitely some people that are going to see the first 5 minutes of this and just be like, no, I'm out. I'm out. I'm gone. But
Yeah, no, it's a dark musical. It's yeah, a lot of violence, a lot of titty. So much titty. I do not remember there being that much titty in this movie.
I guess like
Like,
you said, you hadn't watched it in like what 4 years was it?
yeah, but I have watched it so many times. I made Rob watch this movie with me at least 16 times.
Poor bloke. And yet y'all
Like,
never
I
invited me
know.
to watch it. I've known you guys how long now? Like since 2014 ish. Feel like I should have been invited to one or two of these.
No, like when this first came out in like 2008, I watched it in theater, and then in like 2010, Rob was like, "Hey, do you want to watch this movie with me?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" We watched it like 14 times in a week.
It's a
Like,
it's a mad film. To be fair, it's not that much titty in it. Like I mean, there's a lot of scantily clad people, but there's only one example of full frontal nudity. The rest of it's just like very suggestive. And when I say
I
very
mean, there
suggestive,
was
I
that
mean
pit
art
of
suggestive.
bodies that were all naked.
Yeah, naked corpse bodies don't count. They're dead.
Yeah, dead people don't count. Josh, 2020.
Dead people don't count. Exactly. You can't be exploited if you're dead.
I mean,
Oh
can't
god.
say no if they're dead, right?
I don't want to know what you get up to when the lights go out. No. But yeah,
I mean,
me personally, I enjoyed it, and if you like your edgy early 2000s stuff, then you'll love this. It's just a quiet taste. It's a fun time. I'll say if you're not into like stuff like that, then get some beers and watch it anyway. I feel like a few beers in, be a fun little watch party, definitely. But that's the
ooh, do shrooms and watch it.
I can I can say I have never done shrooms.
Fucking pussy. Do shrooms, watch this movie, and your mind will be blown.
YouTube, kid-friendly website.
Oh shit, yeah, no, you're definitely not getting monetized on this one.
Well, I can't get monetized anyway. I need to somehow gain about 3,000 hours of watch time and about 900 people that give a shit about what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
That's.
that's never gonna happen.
Shh, let me dream, Alex. Like, if you guys want to chat bollocks about movies, which I am happy to be doing with you. So, with that out of the way, let's break this scene by scene here. I'm just gonna bring up my notes that I
Let's
take
do it.
throughout it. So well, this is Repo, the is it generic or genetic?
Genetic. Why would it be generic
Because
opera?
I
That would be like the shittiest title ever. Like, yeah, come to our generic opera.
because
The fuck?
my notepad auto corrected genetic to generic.
Boy, get your shit together.
No, anyway, Repo generic soap, but genetic. You know what I mean. Anyway,
We're naming this podcast the generic opera.
the generic art, that is what this is now. We are not turning back on that. So anyway, it gives us a nice little, we open with a nice little comic strip, implying that it's based on the comic. Don't think it is, judging by the credits at the end. It was just like original screenplay, so I think it's an original idea, but they're just like, let's do a comic strip to get the exposition out of the way, which worked, honestly. It got a lot
It
of,
was like a 3-minute comic strip, though. It was a little excessive.
was a bit. I honestly thought the whole film was going to be like that, but all you really need to know is organ donations is now a trend. You can basically say, oh, my liver's gone shit because I drink too much. I'm just going to get another liver on this loan thing. But if you don't pay up your monthly installments of that organ, the Repo Man's going to come cut that out of you. And he has like a
Also,
badass song.
like, I feel he does have a badass song. But I feel like a big part of it is elective surgery. Like, you want to run faster, get your quad muscles replaced. Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like, you want to sing better, get new vocal cords.
Basically, it's one of those like, oh, you want improvements? Enhance yourself. It's like upgrading yourself in
Yeah.
a loaning system, which honestly, that is still relevant today if we're looking for deep meanings within it, because let's be real, if people could up their skills at whatever, they would definitely do it, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Like, no questions. Then so we had that little comic strip. We see Repo Man doing his Repo Man things. All the while, there's a song being sung by a character that's just called Gravedigger. He never gets a name, but he's just
Grave
like
robber.
Grave Robber.
Oh, no. He has a name. It's Daddy.
There it is. The counter right there. Yeah, this guy is the most frontman of an industrial goth band dude you'll ever see. But damn, I envy these look. Like, so much.
Call him Daddy. Do it.
That
You know you want to. Call him Daddy, Josh.
No, no, Alex. I am not going to be tainted by you. Oh God! But yes, that was a nice little open sequence, and then we meet. Oh, hang on. So I'm just going through my notes. I've got basically loaning body parts, nice throat slit effect, and I think that's me talking about at the start when Repo Man is chasing this woman, and he cuts the throat, you just see the blood come out. That's a nice effect. I always appreciate a practical throat slit effect. Because a lot
Was
of
it her
film,
spine that she didn't pay for, or was it her intestines? It was her intestines, wasn't it?
no, it was a heart, I think. Like the
A heart? It
the
was a heart.
yeah, the intestines bit came a bit later, but in the song's lyrics, it says he will literally come and rip out that beating heart. But yeah, it's like her throat gets slit, and it's just nice seeing a natural throat slit effect, opposed to what a lot of films do, where it's just like slit throat, splaying, CGI blood. This is just a nice little effect that came out, and you got the gist of
Yeah.
things. Don't miss your payments, or that guy will literally come fuck you up, basically.
Yeah,
So,
the FX team did a great job in this movie.
yeah,
Kudos to them.
there are some really good effects. We never finished Face Off. That remember when me, you, and Matt were watching Face Off, and it was just literally a show all about
Yeah.
effects. That was some good times. Oh,
Oh,
God.
that's such a good show.
Yeah, we never finished it though. We got to like the last six, and then we stopped. I don't know why, but I just remember there was that. Was he? Oh, was he like German or something? There was like that one guy we all loved.
Yeah, he was German, I think.
Yeah, it was decent. Oh, in the exposition, we also basically have our Godfather rip-off characters. We have, what's the main guy's name? Riotti or something like that? I wrote it down several times.
Roddy.
Roddy, yeah.
Roddy.
There's Roddy and he has three bratty kids. We have Luigi, who's just got bad anger issues. We've got Amber, who is, well, Paris Hilton's character. Plastic is addicted to...
She's Paris Hilton.
Yeah. Oh, well. Blah. This is why I should not be allowed to go on tangents. But yeah, Paris Hilton, just doing Paris Hilton things pretty much. And there's Milo, who's just literally a leather face without a chainsaw. And he's French for some reason.
He has a scalpel.
Okay.
He's Italian.
No, he says French. He says like Francais a couple of times though. It's like he seems to jump between Italian and French several times in it.
Yeah, continuity is in this movie is like
Strong suit.
forte.
Now, this is definitely a style of a substance kind of movie. So yeah, we meet those guys. A doctor delivers some bad news to Rotty, and doctor gets shot in the head for it, as you do. Just like, here is your villain. He has just killed someone for giving him bad news. That classic dynamic. And, oh, I did put on this, there was that whole tracking shot of the city they live in. As much as I love the set design, the CG left a lot to be desired. A lot to be desired on that panning shot. It was... Yeah, it was a cringy city shot. I could not get over it. I'm glad we didn't get many of them, like, city-wide shots, because they did not look good at all. But that's me being slightly picky.
It was 2008 CGI. Like, what are we?
Yeah, but you can't argue that
What
when
are we expecting?
we had films like The Dark Knight come out in 2008, like, and that had a bunch of CG in it. There was a lot of good films that had good CG in it. The rest, like,
This is not 2008 like Dark Knight CGI budget, honey.
yeah, I'm
like-
just saying, if you have a terrible effect, at least don't spend about a good 60 seconds craning through it. That's the best shot ever. Because, like, look at this city. Look at how awesome this city is. And I don't know. It's me being picky. Like, I'm picky when it comes to CG. I think it's because I did that entire episode on Jurassic Park recently. And I did a whole segment just basically gushing about the practical effects in it. You know me, Alex. I'll love myself a practical over a CGI effect any day of the week.
Yeah.
And
I
twice
think
in some
everyone
days.
does.
Oh no, there's some people that just do CG, it's easier. One of the most heartbreaking stories I ever heard was Peter Jackson went onto a set, I think it was for Cabin in the Woods, and he was showing his stuff. He just turned around to the director and said, "Why don't you just do this all in CG?" And it's like, Peter, no! You did all in great effects in Lord of the Rings, and you're now the CG spokesperson? Are you kidding me? Oh, but anyway, yeah, we have some Godfather-esque stuff I've put here. Bad News gets the axe, yep. Oh yeah, we get our soundtrack. There's a lot of industrial metal songs in this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was digging the soundtrack. It got me hyped all the way through, for the most part. Like, but jumped in genres so much. Some moments it was like industrial metal. Other times you're getting like an Evanescence vibe. Sometimes you're getting like a Pretty Reckless vibe. There's some Rammstein moments. There's a couple of times where I felt I was listening to Prodigy. There's a lot of genres in this, but it all fit that early 2000s mold. And like I said, visually it was like a long 2002 music video.
It really was. It was like a long Evanescence Ramstein music video.
I've got here, girl from Spy Kids is the lead edgy big girl. That is literally my note. Her name is Sheena? Shani? I forgot the name already.
Shiloh!
Shiloh, that's the one.
Her name is Shiloh. You are horrible.
Look.
You are so bad at this.
Well, what can I say? I didn't actually get a name till halfway through the film. I was too busy like trying to figure out what I was watching. But nah, she like shows up in a gas mask, goes to catch a bug, bumps into grave robber, and who's, you pointed out, he's just singing casually while there's these security people wandering around, and he just starts screaming, and all the security people go after him, and it's a weird scene. What exactly was her bond with grave robber in this? He just kind of just shows up, kidnaps her for a bit,
He
and
was
lets her
just
go
there,
again.
grave robbing, and accidentally kidnapping some kids.
Pretty much, but I must say I just loved his singing, and he just talked about all this blue stuff, and she's just there the whole time going like, what is happening? I don't know what's going on. Constantly, and then she gets grabbed by are they like police or just private security or whatever, and Rotty is seeing them on, is it body cameras he's seeing them on? Because he sees who she is and says let him go, but it's like, wow, that was body cameras? Was he on CCTV?
I think it was on like body cams, like like those cop cams. I think they all
Yeah.
had on like vest cams and shit.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, he demands that she's let go, and she wakes up in bed, and we meet her father, Nathan, who is
Daddy.
there it is, another one for the camera. Ding, take a shot every time she says, Daddy, everyone, you'll be fucked by
Oh
the
my
morning.
god, y'all are gonna get plastered.
Yep, you will. But yeah, her dad Nathan is the not the grave digger, bloody hell, the repo man, the one that goes cutting limbs out. There's this amazing scene where he basically cuts someone open and rips their intestines out. It's a good effect, actually.
It's his hand up there makes him talk like he's a
Literally,
puppet.
yeah, that was a very creative scene. It's out of nowhere, but I'm just like, these are very good effects. Like, they definitely committed a lot to the practical effects in this. But in this little, can we establish that Shiloh's mom is dead, and she has a blood disease that's the same as hers, and she can't leave the house. She's housebound, basically. But she likes to sneak out when her father goes out. Is pretty much the gist of that scene. And where are we now? I've lost track where I am on my notes here. And she wakes up because they have an argument. She's trying to tell him about grave robber, and he's like, "Oh, you were dreaming. You're imagining. No, I'm not. Yes, you were. No, I'm not. Yes, you were." That's the dynamic of that scene, and we get to the end of it. She does a song, and they literally do the Evanescence "Bring Me to Life" music video for a shot.
Literally, almost shot for shot. That shit was the same.
Literally, she goes to a window. She's in a white gown. She's young. She's got long black hair. It zooms out. Yeah, that shitty CGI city again. And it's a corner flat of this building. All you needed was Paul McCoy and the flat above just belting out "Wake Me Up." And that's all you needed. Which Alix then says to me that there's actually a character that is literally Amy Lee in this. And we get to her in a little bit. But yeah, we got to that bit. I was just like, this is literally... It's at that point you know what this film is. This film is literally take every edgy music video from the early 2000s and make a gory musical about it. And to be fair, the actors are having fun with it. That's what I will say, is the actors are all clearly having the time of their lives with it. Even Paris was having fun with it. And Paris generally is boring to watch usually. Like, she's boring as fucking House of Wax. but just seeing her off her tits, which we'll get to in a bit, is just hilarious. And then after that, so we've got that. Yeah, pretty reckless style song, Bring Me to Life. Yeah, we get our comic flashback. We get the backstory of the dead mom, the fact that Nathan was trying to cure her, but he's convinced that he's killed her. But we find out in another flashback shortly afterwards that Rottie was dating her, and then she left him for Nathan. So when she fell ill, he slipped some poison into a drink, basically, and that's how she died. But Nathan's convinced it was him that killed her. Am I in the ballpark there? That's roughly what's happened.
Yeah, that's pretty much accurate. Like he makes Nathan believe that his experiment went rogue when in reality Roddy poisoned his wife.
Yeah, name's I think it was Marnie, weren't it? The character's name.
Yeah, Marnie.
Yeah, Marnie. Let's see. Yeah, it's like a kind of flashback, and we have this whole exposition song from. That's actually one of my favorite bits. Actually, my favorite songs were the big, like self exposition songs in the early stages. They were some of my favorite bits. Like his little scene after that little comic flashback. Definitely felt like I was watching a Nine Inch Nails music video. He's just going through the house talking to the pictures, and these pictures for some reason are like holograms. It's really entertaining, that whole sequence. And then once we get to that, we get this weird sort of pirate melody going off, and we meet Rottie's kids just bickering with each other. We have, oh god, what's the mask one called again? Pilo? I think it's Pilo. I know there's Amber and Luigi basically have an argument, and Pilo's like, you two gotta fuck already, basically. It's just
Like
casual.
my brother and sister should fuck, and I was like, bitch, what?
Just casual, in like 3-4 years after this, Game of Thrones would normalize brother and sister relations, so you could say this film was ahead of its time when it came to what was allowed in pop culture. Implying that this is somehow pop culture, but from what we get in that scene, it's just literally meeting these characters and seeing that they're inept. The one that did bug me about them, though, was that they had all these comical sound effects when they were doing things, like full-on cartoony slipping effects, like them little sounds, like whoop. That's the one thing that I didn't.
I feel like that made it.
I don't know. I feel like it ruined them a bit for me. I mean, I know they're supposed to be imbeciles, but I felt like the comic effects was too hammer over the head. Like, these guys are imbeciles. Just so you know, these guys are idiots. Like, you could have literally put Bulk and Skull in them scenes, and it would have blended in perfectly. Now I kind of want to see Bulk and Skull in a version of this. But after that, where we go from there? Let's see. Yeah, goofy bit because of the villains. Oh yeah, there's a lot of, basically, as Alex mentioned earlier, a lot of titties in this. This is our first.
A lot of titties.
This is our first sign of it. In fact, for those that don't know, Alex for a while was a medical student, and she knew about surgery and stuff, and she could not get over how unsanitary the outfits were.
No. Okay, so these nurses, are they nurses? I don't even know. Like, think Silent Hill nurses, but sluttier. Like,
yeah.
they had like these super short skirts on, and they're dropping organs on the floor and then just picking them back up. And honestly, the one thing, like, I don't even care that they're dropping organs on the floor and putting them back into people. No, the clear charts. So the medical charts in this movie are clear, and it drives me up a wall. Because do you know how hard that would be to read?
But saving paper, saving the planet, That's clearly what it's for.
Planet. I need to read my charts.
To be fair, I'm surprised you didn't mention the red mask they were wearing. It's like they're not wearing face masks. They're wearing like these red visors that just seem to be there for the sake
They're wearing,
of...
like, red eye protection, but like, I don't know. It looks like something Lady Gaga would wear. It's weird.
Hey, that's an insult to Lady Gaga. She'll at least take that look and make it 10 times more weird. Like,
She would. It was Gaga-esque. It was baby Gaga.
Basically, it was like Gaga saw this film just like, that's good, but I bet I can make that a bit weirder. Uh, oh, and another bit that happens in that scene actually is the two brothers are arguing. All the while, they've cut the throat of one of the nurses, and she's just bleeding on the floor while they're having this bickering song sing off, which I think is one of the funniest moments of
Is
the
just
film.
doing her job, and she's just dying on the floor.
Well, they're just arguing over who's gonna get the company because basically they all want the company, and yeah, it's one of those macabre moments where it's funny but it's not at the same time, and it's just one of those films that's quite macabre in that sense. But let's see, yeah, somehow Rotti manages to communicate with Shiloh and says, "Oh, come meet me. I can cure you." Blah blah blah. And then we get the flashback revealing that Rotti is the one that actually killed Marnie. And they meet in this car, and they go to this little market area where they meet blind. Oh, was it Ray? Ray? Was it Blind Ray?
Meg.
Blind Meg. Why have I got Ray stuck in my head? I don't know. I knew it was a sort of thing. But yeah, Blind Meg, who's the Amy Lee character that Alex was talking about earlier, meets her, and her thing was that she was blind and she can now see thanks to these organ implant eyes, which is nice. She has some badass looks though. I think she has some of the best costumes in this whole thing, especially when she meets her a bit later. Let's see what else we got. Any better praise stuff? Oh yeah, there we go. Repo Man cuts up a dude. That's the intestine thing we were talking about earlier, where he just shoved his hand up there. That scene was just... I just want to know how long it took and how much like fake organ there to use for that scene alone.
So much.
Like, so much on that one. And let's see. Maybe as a dude, I'm trying to think. Let's see. Yeah, I make a note here that my note here is literally Leatherface rip-off accent changes so much. Because, yeah, sometimes he sounds French, other times he sounds Italian. It's really all over the place.
He sounded German a little bit.
Yeah, there's this little bit where he's in a tent, he's getting a new face on, and then one of the girls mounts him and they sing a song. It's just another one of those random little moments. That character was, honestly, I felt like I could have got a bit more of him, because he came out with, he was probably one of the most eccentric characters in this with his mannerisms.
He was. I wanted more of him, for sure.
Let's see, with that. Yeah, Shy meets Meg. Exposition comic of how Meg got her eyes, but she signed her contract in blood, so now she must serve Rotti for the rest of her life, basically. And, yeah, Mr. Rappy. Cut to Repo song with Repo Man doing Repo things. Yep, Repo Man does his cutting things, yep. Just
Repo Man doing Repo things. I want to do Repo things with my friends. God, Mom.
But to be fair, there's this fun little scene because he goes to call Shiloh, and Shiloh's out of the house and she's not allowed. So he's like calling her while he's ripping out a guy's spine. Just like, have you taken your medicine? Yeah, Dad. Wait, there's a noise in the background. No, my window's just cracked, Dad. Just that little fun moment.
Just being daddy AF, okay?
I mean...
Like, he's just doing his best.
Yeah, just ripping out a spine with one hand while checking his daughter's temperature with the other hand. That's parenting 101 right there. Rip off limbs, but check your young one's health. Like, Dad goes right there. So how many daddies is that for the count now? Like 5, 6?
4 or 5. I don't know. I'm sure you'll hear it back in post. You'll figure it out.
Oh god, yeah, I definitely will. Let's see. Yeah, Riverman. Another Rammstein style songs. Yeah, it's me once again commenting because I swear to God, it does feel like Rammstein wrote half the songs for this. Like half of them just feel very Rammstein-y. All the way through. But then we finally get some more Grave Robber. Like him and Shiloh hang out a bit. And then we get to Alex's favourite song. I think I'll let you describe this scene. I like
God.
This is the thirsty scene.
I don't want to spoil it too much for y'all, but Zydrate comes in a little glass vial. Like, did we even talk about Zydrate yet? Okay. So there's this main drug that they sell, and it's called Zydrate. It's like it's anesthetic and knocks you the fuck out and makes you feel good. But you can get like a natural version of it by sucking it out of dead people's noses, and then you sell it. That's why grave robbing is illegal in this world. But it's literally the grave robber and Shiloh with a bunch of baby prostitutes. And I say baby because they look young as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just Zydrate comes in a little glass vial. And then Shiloh, being deaf as all hell, a little glass vial? Like, you gotta watch it. It's good. It's catchy. It's gonna be stuck in my head for like a week now.
Yeah, that whole scene, it's like imagine a kid's nursery rhyme, they've got to repeat it over and over again. It's one of those. But the sequence is just like all these baby prostitutes, just like they are just horny for this drug. It is easily the most horny scene of this entire film. Think everyone says Cats was a very horny movie. Just basically imagine Cats was this one scene, and then times that by 10. It's a very horny scene. And then during that song, Amber shows up, and took me a moment to realize it was Paris Hilton, because she's like fully like Uma Thurman gothed up. I was like, wait, is that's Paris Hilton? What? I had to check IMDb's like cast list just to double check the character name matched up. But yeah, what we get from that scene, apart from Amber, is basically a massive. Is it Zayaf? I'm gonna mispronounce it. Zayafram. Zayatan.
Zydrate?
Zydrate, that's the one. Yeah, she's a massive crackhead for Zydrate, and she's also not a fan of Shiloh, and Shiloh talks about Blind Mag, and she's obviously offended because they both sing in the opera. Basically, Blind Mag sings at the opera, and so does Paris Hilton's character, and she's not happy about that. But yeah, she is off her face on it. And then she has these two bodyguards that are just doing this, fanning her when the coppers come to pick her up. It's like, I don't know, I found that image very amusing. These two shirtless guys wearing just suspenders, fanning her with hats, I think it was, while she's just there monged out.
Hands. They were just using their hands to fan her.
It's just,
it was so cheesy.
So cheesy. I think it was this part of the film, you're just like, why is every bodyguard like shirtless in this?
Yeah, literally, the bodyguards are never dressed appropriately.
They really aren't, and like, are all the bodyguards twins? Because they all just look very similar. Like all the male bodyguards look the same.
They all look like carbon copies.
Like, you get the impression that they're probably robots or something, but yeah, that's Alix's favourite part of the whole film. It is actually a very catchy song. I will completely agree there. But where do we go from there? Because I'm trying to remember what happens after that. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. About the process. Blah, blah, blah. Love Facebook accent. Yeah. Right. There we go. Blue sit. Amber's addicted. Oh, the next path scene. So Nathan is asked by Rabbi, maybe bad guy, Roddy. That's it. Why do I keep blanking on these fucking names? Jesus.
I don't know. Maybe it's because it's so early in the morning for you that like.
I know you
I
can
think
see.
you're just tired.
You can see the light like coming out behind the screen there. Oh, what's this on my hand actually? Nah, I'm awake. I got this, boo. I got this. But yeah,
do you?
It is like 5 in the morning. It doesn't seem like
you do.
We are 50 minutes into this. I am going to commit. But yeah, so Roddy tells Nathan that, right, your next contract is to kill Blind Mag, like take her eyes back. He initially refuses because apparently Blind Mag and Marnie were friends in real life before Marnie died. But there's this whole sequence where basically they sing a song about his guilt, and he says, I remember a lot. Just like, hey, you could be in jail if it wasn't for me. Do you remember killing your wife? Do you remember? Do you remember? Yes, I remember. That is basically all you need to know about the song. That's literally the only lyrics you need to know. But yeah, the whole song is just Rotti and all three of his kids just basically fucking with him. And they, for some reason, they have a guy tied to a chair for him. And he just demolishes the dude. Like, brutally. I'm like giving tools and everything. It's a great scene, but I just love that it gives you that one little character moment of him because honestly, at this point, you've not really seen Nathan being anything other than this ruthless killer. He occasionally does speak to his daughter, but it's like for the most part, you just see him cutting people to pieces. Basically, there's a lot of people cutting the pieces in this. That's basically half the movie. Have I missed anything just in case?
I don't think so. I think we're pretty good.
We're all good. We're all good. Anything you want to chime in with at this point?
Not, like, it's just, I feel like we can't convey how gory this movie is. Like,
Like,
you just really have to watch it.
yeah, that's where the budget went. It was all on the gore stuff. Easily, that's where
You know,
all
the
the money
budget
went.
was solely in fake blood.
Fake blood and somehow getting Paris Hilton in this. I'm going to assume Paris Hilton's career took a downward spiral to get in this. But let's see. Here we go. Blind Mag shows up at Shiloh's house, says, I'm your godmother. They have an interaction. It's actually a very cute interaction. Like, she shows this, there's this cool holograph effect she does with her eyes, showing her mother. And her dad returns home. And Shiloh, oh, we forgot. Shiloh finds out that Blind Mag's like contract for her eyes has a lot of fine print in it, and it was basically like she was fucked. And Shiloh tries to convince her dad to save her, but his dad, well, her dad's obviously he's already been told to go kill her, so he's like trying to talk her out of it, saying it's all in her head, whatever. And then we get, I'll be honest, it is probably the worst song in the film. The whole punk rock I'm 17 song just kind of comes out of nowhere. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that scene personally. It was just the rebellious teen scene, I'll call it. That for some reason has a full live band in it and a crowd, and ends with a bitch slap. He like fully slaps her. I love how it just ends with a bitch slap. But yeah, for me that's my least favorite scene. I don't know what your thoughts of that scene are really.
Feel like it shows that like Shiloh is coming into her own as a character. Like she's starting to rebel against her dad. Like she's starting to try to make theories of her own on what's going on in her world, which she hasn't done before. Like she very much lived this sheltered, bubbled life. And I feel like the 17 song was her finally rebelling and saying, you know, like, fuck you, I can do what I want.
Until you get slapped. Basically. Nah, but honestly I thought she was already rebelling in the first place, just going out all the time. Like I got the impression she never stayed home. She always snuck out to collect bugs and did whatever she wanted. I loved her mask though.
Well,
Her gas mask was pretty
and
good.
you know, her mask was awesome, but she would take the tunnel from her house down to her mother's grave. So it's not really like she was roaming the town.
I mean, she could have if she dared. But yeah, that scene ends abruptly as it starts. And let's see. Oh yeah, we find out that Amber has been converted back to Paris Hilton look. Like she's basically just herself with a few scars on there, but she looks completely different to what she did when she was pulled in by the cop people. But then, out of nowhere, actually, Rotti commands that Nathan gets arrested and killed. It just kind of happens. Like, did I miss something there? Was there something that set it off, or was it just the, yep, you know what, I'm bored of you. Kill Nathan now. Let's get rid of him.
He didn't want to kill Blind Mag. Like he didn't want to kill her.
Yeah, but he agreed to do
and
it.
also, Roddy hated him.
I knew Roddy hated him, but he agrees to kill Blind Mag anyway, and I don't see any because he says no, And then there's that song where he stabs the guy and he's like, right, I'll do it. And then it just kind of goes from there to, okay, actually, we're going to kill you now. Like,
I think it's one of those things where Roddy, if we haven't mentioned already, Roddy has a terminal illness. And I feel like his last bit of revenge was turning Marnie on her father and then having her father be dead.
see, now you're getting the characters backwards. Marnie was the mother, Shiloh is the daughter.
Oh, Shiloh, that's right. Shiloh.
Yes, Alix fucked up as well. It's good I have integrity somehow. What little there is, anyway. Nah, that goes in. So we're getting to the final bit. In fact, yeah, I've got it right here. Very dramatic build to the finale. Because I'm not going to lie, the song that bridges Act 2 to Act 3, I fucking loved it. We're just like, I'm going to go do this at the opera. We're going to do this at the opera. It's like this proper hype, like industrial song. I absolutely love that setup. And it fully cuts to black at the end of that song as well, saying like, right, we're in the final act, people. Nice classic 3-act structure there. That's, for me, is probably my favourite song of the film, just how it hypes up the last little bit. And we get this opera house, it's actually an opera, and they have this little sequence where all the Rotty and his kids are coming in, and everyone's testifying, saying, I've got my kidney replaced so I can drink more. One woman's just like, I was a mother and I got a kidney replaced, but now I look really good, and she gets her tits out of nowhere, like the only bit of full frontal nudity that's not a dead body, which is just, do you feel like just throwing it in there for the shock value? That's what it felt like for me watching that bit.
She was saying that how like she got her kidney replaced, and since she was a single mom, like Gene Co threw in a pair of tits for like an extra fee.
Oh, okay. What a waste of money.
Right?
Exactly. And then, so we get to this, and we have Blind Mag, who does this most. Blind Mag performs. She's on these like nice little wires, and she knows that she's fucked, and she actually does the most metal thing ever, and takes her own eyeballs out. Like she has these.
She was a fucking boss. She like just
Literally.
gouged those bitches out.
Like she has these finger claws, she just sticks them eyes and rips them out. But it doesn't matter because Rotty cuts her suspender cables. She gets impaled on these stage spikes. I'd love to know who greenlit having actual like spikes on stage. Like who greenlit that on the risk assessment, because I just find it convenient that there's actual real spikes on stage. That's just me being picky though. But yeah, she gets.
I don't think set design was worried about it, Josh.
I'm just chatting bollocks, to be fair, mate. But yeah, but they convince the audience it's all part of the show. So the audience is just not questioning there's a dead body on stage. It's all part of the show because the company that's given them all these organs have said so. And then right after that, Shiloh, because she's been summoned by Rotty in another like voice call, saying to get the cure you must kick the shit out of Repo Man, and she gets Repo Man from behind. It's revealed to be her dad, and they have a bit of an argument. She does the classic, I wish you was dead, I don't believe you, that whole spiel, but obviously in song form. And then Nathan says, if the dad's dead, let the monster come out. He comes on the stage, he kills the two twins, like the twin security guards. But then he gets cheap shotted by Luigi, and we get this big song and dance still in front of this live audience. And it leads up to basically Shiloh being given this gun. Didn't it reveal that she's not actually sick either?
Yeah, it reveals that like her dad was actually, so her dad is like Munchausen by proxying this bitch and just pretty much poisoning her to keep her weak so he can keep her safe because he's terrified that she's gonna die.
Yeah, it's a nice little reveal, and basically Rotty says to Shiloh, hey, my kids are fuck-ups, so you shoot Nathan here for me, and you get my company. and she refuses the big song about it. Nathan apologizes to her, and gunshot goes off. You said it was Rotty that shot him. Because I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
it was
I just
right.
saw the gun go off. Yeah, Rotty shoots him, and then he just dies after insulting his kids. Oh, I forgot to mention Paris Hilton loses her face.
Her face, pretty little face falls off.
She's like at the start of the opera, just singing, and her face just falls off, and she runs off stage. But I only remembered it now because she comes back on stage, and Rotty's just like, "You're not my daughter. You're ugly. I don't want to look at you. Go away." She's like, "All right, see ya." Father of the Year, right? He just insulted his kids and then just dies. And then,
That's pretty much all that happens. That's pretty much the end of it.
yeah, pretty much, Shiloh and Nathan have a song together, and Nathan, despite bleeding out and dying, sings very well for a dying person. Like,
Yeah, he sings beautifully for a dead man, or for a man that's dying.
I would love to have them pipes. If I'm down, I want to be able to have a good scenery with them pipes. I absolutely love it. And then Shiloh sings a bit more. And it's implied she's off the contract, but then like a quick, it sort of like cuts the credits. No. She walks out the opera house, and then we cut to Gravedigger, just giving us the last little bit of exposition at the end. Because he just has to
Yeah.
be he just has to give off the massive lead singer of a goth rock band vibe constantly, and I need to look into if this guy actually has a band or something, because I'm not gonna lie, I love that guy every time he's on screen. Why is Grave Robber not in this more? I'd love to see a lot more Grave Robber.
Too daddy. He is too daddy. I did not say daddy enough in this podcast,
So
but he's just watch the movie and you'll see what I'm talking about.
basically, oh, and there's a little epilogue mid-credit scene with the three kids where is it implied that they took over the company and
Yeah, Amber got the company. Amber's the one that took it over in the end. Paris Hilton's character took over the company in the end.
yeah, there's little subtitle things. Got this thing where it's all three of them talk to the press, and then like cut to comic versions of themselves. It was like this breeze of an arc that I'd love to have seen like acted out fully. It was like Amber sells her face to symbolize progress. Apparently Luigi murdered the first three bidders, and then the mask guy bought it and won the bid and wears his sister's face with pride.
It's
I,
a we're not doing this movie justice, but like
it's just I just wanted this. I would love to have seen that in like a little short, like a little 5 minute epilogue scene.
yeah.
I would love to have watched that. But yeah, that was the ultimate 2000. Because one thing I'm not emphasizing enough in this is it's literally a 2000s music video style, start to finish. Beautiful style to it. I really enjoyed the art style. Like these set design's gorgeous, costume design's amazing. I love the cinematography on it. If I had to pick my flaws with it, is that sometimes the songs when they're having just a conversation, it's not like an industrial or metal soundtrack. It's just like a chill song. It doesn't feel like it vibes with the rest of the film for some small conversations. They're the only things I don't really enjoy about it. And plus, I didn't like the 17 song, but I liked your take on it. Your take on it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie. I think everyone should try to watch it at least once.
Yeah, try to watch it. I've never heard of it before tonight. I've watched it now, and I can say I'll probably watch it a few more times, actually. It's a fun thrill ride of a movie, definitely. But that's going to wrap it up here, guys. Coming, well, I don't even know what I'm doing over the next couple of weeks. I do have a while of movies come out next week. Not sure what I'm going to do. Probably Breakfast Club, maybe. If I had to think off the top of my head. I am making my way through the Studio Ghibli film, so you might already have some reviews out now. But I am starting to work my way through those. Very much looking forward to that. And yeah, that's basically it. Alex, any last little points or BS you want to just chat to round this all out?
Like like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell. Boom, I did it for you.
No, that's so cringe, man. You're the one that goes cringe. But yeah, if you do like what?
It's cringe, but you gotta ask for it.
Yeah, gotta ask. Yeah, if you do enjoy it, if you've somehow made it this far, well done.
Let's be real, you did.
Congratulations. Yeah, no one
If you did, you probably fell asleep and just now woke up.
Probably. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this, then please feel free to hit that like button and that subscribe button, all that generic do this stuff. I'd like to thank Alix for joining me. I don't know if I'll bring her back on. I probably will though, because I'll be honest, this is probably the most banter one I've had. And this is counting the two that I did with Rob as well. Like, there was way more banter in this one. I just wish I was more awake for the latter half of it. But thank you for indulging me, Alix. Thank you for showing me this weird, horny fetish movie. But
it was my pleasure.
Glorious. But anyway, guys, until next time, this is That Spikehead Podcast, signing off. Hey, thank you for watching, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. While you are here, if you haven't done it yet, please feel free to drop a like and consider hitting that subscribe button for more views coming all the time. And also, while you are here, there are some other videos over there that you might want to sink your teeth into. Have a good day, guys, and do enjoy.